The worst car guy influencer habits. This is not a hate video, it's probably not even a funny video. This is more of an advice video that actually is gonna cover some serious topics. These are some dumb habits I see car influencers fall into, and I think it's important to talk about them before they continue to nuke their bank account for no reason. Starting off, this video is probably one of the most annoying questions I get asked, which is when people ask me, "Hey Bladed, what kind of car should I buy to be famous?" And this is probably a question that any other successful car content creator can also relate to, and for streamers and gamers, you probably get the question of what setup do I need to start editing? You know, should I spend $5 grand on this like sick setup, bro? I remember watching another YouTuber on a podcast talk about this exact topic. It resonated with me because he basically said to that fan where he's like, are you trying to create content or are you just trying to give yourself an excuse to buy a camera and a nice setup? If you want to create content, then just make content. Then you can buy better setup later. But if you constantly focus on the setup, then you don't actually want to create content. And like, that's a super harsh way that he framed it, but I absolutely relate somewhat to it because I feel like a lot of these people have deluded themselves into thinking that their equipment will actually give them a better chance at starting. Unironically, throughout 2019 to 2020, back when I still had open DMs, which I don't now, I used to get messages all the time on Instagram and Twitter from new car guys like, hey, I want to start vlogging and I want to make it a career, but my current car isn't cool enough. And they're like, yeah, this car will help me get big. So, you know, which one do you think I should buy, Bladed? Which one do you think will get my career off the ground? And that's a question that just became super repetitive for me because I have no good answer for it. The reality is there are a ton of Mopar Instagrammers, Corvette owners, JDM drifters, LS swamp drag racers, insane European exotics, and in YouTube's early meta, having 1000 horsepower made you unique. However, these days, as crazy as this may be for some people to still process, your car no longer determines or guarantees your success. To be any kind of influencer, fundamentally you have to have a personality and you also need a whole bunch of luck. I'm absolutely blessed to still be making videos for almost 7 years on YouTube, and I'm even more blessed that you all as an audience are still watching me. If you want me to be absolutely honest with you, you can have the coolest car, the coolest vlogging setup, the most expensive camera, microphone, computer, whatever. That's not going to guarantee your success in any content creation field. A lot of starting this career is just luck, and I'm mature enough to say that, to appreciate it, to understand that, and warn against those who only want to get into this stuff because they have dollar signs in their eyes, because they think that they can offset the cost of being a car enthusiast by making it big on YouTube. But before they even make it big on YouTube, heck, before they even start, they're already trying to convince themselves to spend 40 grand on a car loan. My best advice is just make videos first, because above all else, the reason you should make content is because you just enjoy creating content. Don't do it solely to earn cash. There's a reason I don't spam sponsors or plug merch every single video that I make. I do have a few sponsors here and there, and I appreciate you guys putting up with them, and I appreciate you guys continuing to choose to watch this channel, but I respect your guys' time, and I respect you all enough to not treat you like cash cows. I understand that I have an audience based on the goodwill that I've built with them. Just be you first. I know it sounds cheesy, everyone and your mom tells you that, but being yourself doesn't cost a dime. And if you do find an audience by just being yourself, then that means that they have decided that they like you as you. It doesn't matter what car, camera, or microphone you own. When you change your equipment, they don't feel a reason to leave you, so to speak, because they never came there for your car. They came there and watched your videos and stayed because of you. The next thing I want to talk about is an escalation of the first entry, and I specifically have to talk about this one because this is something I relate to, which is thinking a supercar entitles them to more views. I spend a lot of time outside the car community these days, and I've inherited some fans who parallel the thoughts of some of the biggest content creators on the platform. The supercar dream seemed to be a phase that everyone latched onto because when it first came out, we didn't really see much of the life of these cars. It was kind of something you could only see on Top Gear, if that even, which is why when you bought an exotic on YouTube, you were guaranteed success from 2012, 14, 15, 17, even probably as late as 18 to 19. But very recently, the meta towards that has shifted. And to get this back onto topic, imagine if you've convinced yourself that the only way to be famous was because back then in 2014, you saw someone with 1000 horsepower Lamborghini get 10 bajillion views. So if you do the exact same thing, you're also going to get the same result, not realizing the hypocrisy of that train of thought. It was already done. The internet has already seen it. And remember, the internet can only see the same thing more and more before they get tired by it. Even if you escalate it by getting a 1200 horsepower Lamborghini, there comes a point where just the concept at the core, so not necessarily the number, the concept of owning a fast super duper super exotic car will eventually bore most of the general public. Nowadays, I see the same supercar videos that can't even break 50k views. There comes a point where if you rely on a material item to keep relevancy, then whenever you lose that item, or if trends regarding that item have changed, then you're gonna get left behind. By the way, I'm not talking about any large creators. Again, stop drama hunting, stop reading too deeply into the words I'm saying. Any massive creator that has already made it, like Stradman for example, he could probably buy like a new hypercar every 3 months and it wouldn't affect his financial career at all because he has already made it. This is not who that message is for. This is for young, newer, aspiring, naive creators who look at those massive channels and think they're entitled to the same exact success for doing the same exact thing, realizing that the second go around, so the second time that the internet sees something, it's not gonna garner as large an audience as the first go around, and that sucks because you're late to the punch, so to speak. It's funny how my stubbornness to not get a supercar almost ended my career in late 2022, since throughout that entire year, people were still kind of pressuring me on Twitter, but I felt like I was falling behind as a content creator. Yet when I got my second win last year and saw a lot of the new people I was getting in 2023 where they found my channel and they're going through my backlog of old videos and they're like, yo, this guy has owned the same cars for his entire 6 to 7 year career, that's based. And again, I appreciate that so much. It's seriously insane. It's absolutely humorous and nothing I could have predicted. It's luck. I didn't know this was going to happen. You never know when public perceptions can just pivot on a dime, which is why you build your career based on what makes you happy. I couldn't even begin to imagine how awful I'd feel if I did end up buying a supercar, not because I wanted to, but because I deluded myself into thinking it'd get me more views. By the way, that should not stop any of you watching from buying a supercar if you truly do want to buy one. Do not misinterpret my words. If you still actually like supercars and want to get one someday, I'm saying you should buy one because it makes you feel happy, not because you think it'll get you views. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to say. The third thing I want to talk about this video is only wanting to influence to make money. Often, those most obsessed with making money quickly are going to spend it just as quickly. Easy come, easy go. Lately, a sadistic thing I started comparing most influencer success stories to are lottery winners. They get rich quick, burn brightly, but they burn quickly, and they get left with nothing. I remember so many group chats I was in with Fortnite content creators, even garnering 1 million subscribers within 2018, and they earned $1 million because of it, only to fall out of relevancy just 1 year later in 2019. And you would see the similarities to lottery winners. They literally ended up, some of them did, in a worse financial position than where they started. These people, they took stupid multi-year loans on cars, mansions, and even clothing, assuming they were guaranteed a multi-year career, all trying to pretend to be rich, to flex on total strangers. And I'm not above that line of thinking. As I admitted earlier, I used to be there. I almost got caught in that trap. To me, that's the saddest way to end a career as a content creator, to not only get forgotten by time, but also to be left with nothing, or in some of their cases, even worse than where they started. Some of them having multi-hundred thousands of debt, and they no longer had any income from their YouTube career, and some of them even filed for bankruptcy. I asked myself from the very start, what will I be left with when this YouTube channel ends? It's a hard question to ask yourself. I love getting paid to make online videos on top of other things. However, I shouldn't act like I'm entitled to this career. So therefore, I should cherish my time spent making these videos. Cherish all the people who enjoy watching them. And ultimately, when it is my time to fade away on this channel, I can let go knowing that I'll be okay. There was always this side of me that used to be entitled back then. And you can tell how I got a little lucky that I did not explode super quickly. Looking back at it, I'm glad I didn't shoot up to 1 million subscribers in 1 year like I wished I did, because after seeing how quickly it ruined the lives of some of those Fortnite content creators, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise to slowly earn all my subscribers, to slowly go on this uphill journey that I've been with you guys for 7 years, because I've actually cherished what it took to get here. Watching Boogie's documentary further humbled me into realizing I made the right decisions. It was wince-worthy seeing a 49-year-old man thinking that just because he had 4 million, well, he said 4.1 million, but I think he only has 4 million subscribers, he was above having a real job. And just the way he said it and the way he framed it.
You think I need to get a real job, but I just want to let you know I'm not going to. I'm not going to walk into some job when I have 4 million subscribers on YouTube. I'm one of the original YouTubers.
it made me realize that some people, when they explode super fast, super early, and they don't actually truly grasp why they got their success or what people actually liked about them, and then they even, do what he did in his case, where they throw away what gave them success. In his case, it was having like a nice friendly image, and even trying to actively like crap on his subscribers and even beg money from them. Such entitlement. He talked like he was so much above having a real job, and no matter what, that option is not beyond me. Seeing people like Mutahar run a channel much larger than mine while still holding a day job began to inspire me. I'm not entitled to have YouTube give me success. I'm not entitled to have YouTube support my career, and somehow my understanding of that made me enjoy being a YouTuber more, because I stopped obsessing over the success of each individual video. I stopped obsessing over my success on this platform. I was just like, just make videos. You got known for making dumb, haha, funny car videos and list videos. That's what you should keep doing. And the only reason I got stressed making some of those videos is I felt like I was stuck in a rut where I was like, I want to become the next biggest supercar vlogger. I don't want to be known as that list video maker forever. I'm entitled to a supercar. I'm gonna evolve to that next step, not realizing that, like, I'm lucky that I even got an audience doing dumb list videos, right? Like, if you really think about it, but again, this is crazy hearing me say this, actually, because I think these things to myself. This is my first time saying it aloud for a video for the world to see, but like, I don't hate making dumb idiot list videos with haha funny moments in them. Of course, not everyone finds them funny, but the people who do find them enjoyable, I'm blessed to have you guys around. I'm absolutely grateful that you guys are still subscribing and liking my videos and still returning to my videos. I find myself very grateful to what I have, and I needed to get that ego check. 100% I needed that ego check. The final thing I want to talk about this video is taking loans out for several cars, as well as taking loans out for car mods and calling it an investment. The problem I have with this one isn't with like one car loan, but several car loans on top of multiple modded loans. There's this annoying entrepreneur grind set that really needs to get curb stomped by actual successful people. Most people who talk like debt is a sign of success. Successful companies take billions in debt, therefore I've no shame in taking lots of debt over car mods. It's an investment, bro. The reason a company can loan out several cars is because those are tax write-offs. They're also business vehicles that can be counted as business expenses, and they're going to be used by others within the company to perform business-related tasks that may yield back a ton of money. For example, if you're renting out a fleet of vans to help all your tradesmen, especially if like they're plumbers or whatever, and they need to go to X amount of destinations in a certain amount of days, it is nicer if you have more work vans you can provide for more of your employees, so that they can reach more customers to make more money. Are you seeing what I'm trying to put down here? This also even applies to content creators. So YouTubers who've already made it, who can afford to own 10 or more cars because they can tax write off these cars because again, they're business expenses. A fantastic example of this is someone like Stradman. He can afford to live that lifestyle thanks to the success he has earned, thanks to the success he has created. But when he first started, noticed how he really only had one car that carried him for a good few years. That's what people need to actually look at. Like, don't look at where Stradman is now and go, I can start just like that. Let me just take a whole bunch of debt on 10 different cars because someone more successful than me is doing insert X, therefore it applies exactly the same to me. That's not how this works, because again, he started small, worked with what he had, and then he garnered success. Just like a company. If you open a company, you don't buy 10 fleet vehicles if you don't even have 10 employees to drive them, right? You need to expand your success first. You buy what you need. The longer I watch Caleb hammer, the more I realize how little car enthusiasts understand this. There are some people that he brings onto this channel that he talks to who buy 3, even 4 cars as an individual, by the way, not like with girlfriends or anything, and they actually call them investments, where they're like, I'm investing in my future. Oh, I'm making videos on this car, and then like they only have like 10,000 followers on Instagram, so I know they're not making back the money relative to the payments they're spending on all those cars. They're trying to just skip over the phase of start small, get big. They just assume that if they just start big, they're gonna be big. That is never how this works. And I'm not a financial advisor like Caleb is, but fundamentally, let me just briefly run you through some of these. Let's just go through some numbers. Most index funds like Vanguard usually have around 8% interest throughout the years. It can fluctuate to 9, 10, whatever, depending on the market and depending on like world circumstances, but we're just gonna use 8, right? When you're taking loans that have 16, 22, or 29% APR, which is compounding interest, by the way, you are paying more in APR than any investment will ever get you back via interest. So if you're only getting 8% out of Vanguard or 4% out of Ally, but you're taking a 16% APR car loan, you should not be in car debt. You should try to either A, pay that debt off as quickly as possible, B, refinance that debt, or C, liquidate that debt, or D, never get yourself there in the first place. Just do basic math and be like, so debt doesn't always equals instant investment, because again, you're not a business. I hate to say it, but there's a reason why there's winners in life, because there also have to be losers. Watch my APR video and don't be a loser. And maybe watch some of Caleb Hammer's videos afterwards to actually see losers. Like, it's horrible to call them that, but you have to watch the mental gymnastics they do and understand how they are getting in their own head, where they don't actually understand how debt works and why actual successful people are able to do the things, and why when they do the same thing, it does not work the same for them. And for all of you who are new enthusiasts who have yet to take a single car loan, don't feel bad for taking your first car loan. Just don't go out taking multiple, much less taking loans for mods even. Thank you all for watching, and I'm looking forward to 2024. And if you love automotive content, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Share this video to your pet reindeer, and I'll see y'all next time. Bladed Angel out.